Hey guys, this is Earth Waters with Howling at the Earth. I'm excited to do this video because it's talking about mental health. And for about 2 weeks, I have been having some challenges that I want to talk about. So, the question is, how does mental health affect relationships? Like that, it really affects it. However, we know that mental health can be seen and viewed by others as being associated with being crazy, associated being uncontrollable, not balanced, not peaceful, just a hot mess, right? Kind of like my hair. Anyway, I'm still pretty though. No, for real stuff. All right, but so mental health does not have to look in that perspective. If you educate yourself on the different types of mental illnesses, the symptoms, the behaviors, how you can better help the person that you love that is suffering with mental illness. And then it doesn't necessarily mean that they're suffering because stress, mental health depends upon stress and what you're dealing with. At times, it could just be relationships, it could be a major or sudden change, it could be, financial, jobs, it could be anything that would affect your mental health, even if you're considered to be a normal person that doesn't typically have mental health issues, and then educating yourself on how to keep your mental health in check. So, but anyway, I have a long history of battling with different mental health issues, okay? And it has affected my my relationship with my family, with friends, with romantic relationships, marriages. Well, not marriages, a marriage, different things. Okay, different relationships. And it wasn't until I actually educated myself on the things that I was dealing with, especially in the areas of major depressive disorder, bipolar, anxiety and depression, just different mood swings, that's associated with like PMS, things like that. How I responded when these symptoms started to expose themselves. But once I began to educate myself on who I was, I started digging into like self-knowledge, what triggers me, what sets me off, or why I behave the way that I behave. Those things, once I started really, really digging into myself, because I had went on a journey of just trying to finding me, loving me, wanting to find me, wanted to know more about who I was and why I do the things that I do. And that's when I really grabbed the concept of keeping my mental health in check and then trying to balance a normal life, right? To others. So I was appearing to be normal around others, while being at work or around my family and children and, things like that. But on the other hand, it was some days where I couldn't really hide it because when you're suffering, there's no way you're going to be able to hide it or conceal it because you don't want anyone to see. When a person is really, really suffering, it's going to expose it. It's going to be exposed no matter the circumstances, you know. To others, it just may seem like, oh wow, they're tripping, or they're that's truly who they are, and all kind of stuff gonna come out. But when a person is suffering and you don't know what to do, educate yourself as much as you can so that you know how to deal with that person. But I going to work, going to work, I found myself wearing like a mask every single day, trying to hide some of the things that I was dealing with, and to a point where it became evident to other people that I would be going through something. So the physical changes would be, well, normally she dresses up every day. Her makeup is on and she's this way and she's happy, she's smiling, but then when I'm really, really low and I'm in that dark place, there's no smiles. My hair may look like who did it and what for. There's no makeup. There's no laughter. There's no passion behind what I did for a living. It was nothing, you know. And when it started to become more noticeable by other people, I knew then the mask wasn't working. And I started to dig more into myself and embrace. I started, instead of, because it was a point where I truly hated some of the things that I dealt with, as far as like the mental aspect of it. It was where I was in the darkest place ever, and it was almost like I couldn't get out, right? So it became very frustrating to me. But it started to become evident by others. And I knew then it was a problem. So I had to learn how to balance it. And then I started embracing it and understanding that this is what makes me different. This defines who I am. And if I could accept all of me and all of my flaws, including my mental health issues or whatever the case is, I knew then that I was headed in the right direction. I became more open to talk about it and to let others know, hey, this is who I am. So if I could not accept me being who I was in total acceptance, I couldn't expect for someone else to accept me or love me back, because I had to love even the flaws that I had. I had to learn to love the good part and the bad part of just being me. Okay? And once I learned that, it was okay, because I used to hide it from everybody. Like, oh, I'm normal. But then eventually it came out and they saw me for who I was, saw me for who they saw me for who they thought I was. But it does not define me. It does not, that the mental health issues does not define my true being. Yes, I have moments, but it's not who I truly am. And it's a constant fight. It's a constant fight, and it's daily that you have to deal with this, but it gets better. And the reason and how I know it gets better is that I've learned to communicate. I've learned to communicate. I've learned to talk about it. I've learned to accept it. I learned that it's okay. I learned that it's okay. And To others, it may not be always accepted by others, but when it's accepting to you, and you are on a journey of finding you, and you're on a journey of finding peace and understanding of yourself and knowledge of yourself, you will be fine. So I just encourage everyone to learn and educate yourself on mental illness, learn the symptoms, the behaviors, everything as much as you can, especially if you truly love that person, to find it within yourself, to find ways to help them. And don't be afraid to talk about it. Talk about it to someone, especially if it's someone that you can trust with all of you, the good and the bad. Talk to them and find that vent. Find that relationship where you could just vent and take the mask off and just let them see you. It works, okay? So peace and blessings to all of you guys. I thank you for the support and thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's a hard word for me to say, guys. But however, don't forget to keep howling at the earth. Thank you. Bye.